All right, Mark, now this is Emily the cat, and when you hear what she's been through over the past 48 hours, it's amazing she's still alive. Somebody shot an arrow right through this cat's body, and tonight she is recovering. Investigators are trying to figure out who would do such thing, shoot a cat with a bow and arrow. Fox TV's Steph DiPietrantonio is here. All right, the cat going to make it here, Steph?
John, the good news is the cat's okay, but this poor cat, the video you're about to see, it's incredible. And the x-rays show the arrow might have just missed her spinal cord. But for the moment, Emily's hind legs are paralyzed. And sadly, investigators have very little to go on. And we should warn you, some of this video may be tough for some of you to watch. The video is unbelievable. The cat at the Riverview Animal Hospital called Emily pierced by an arrow.
Just the fact that she had this shaft protruding from both sides of her body and she was still looking around at us, you can't even imagine the amount of pain that she would have been in.
A couple of Good Samaritans claim they found the cat here near the intersection of Highway 301 and Crickle Avenue. They couldn't believe what they saw. The cat was walking around with the arrow going right through the center of its back and rapidly going into shock.
They just kind of set the box on our counter and said they had a cat with an arrow through it, and we couldn't turn them away with that.
The x-rays told a more promising story.
You can see that black hole going right through one of her vertebrae. We can see the spinal column running right above it, and that's our hope, is that it hit the bone but missed the spinal cord.
They had to act fast, shaved all around the arrow, and once she was fully sedated, gingerly slid the arrow out. They're not sure of the extent of nerve damage yet.
And when we pet back here, she doesn't really give us much of a response, so I don't think she can feel much past her rib cage.
The surgeon who saved the cat's life is Emil, so they're calling her Emily in honor of him.
The fact that she had a professional hunting arrow through her body probably means that someone was using her as target practice, or at least was out hunting in an area where there's a lot of feral cats around, although she certainly doesn't act feral.
She'd already been spayed, is very clean and well socialized. Looking at her teeth, they believe she's 2 to 3 years old.
You can see she's extending and releasing her paws, and that sometimes call it making biscuits. It's a sign of a happy, content cat, and she just does that even when there's nobody around.
So Chelsea Edmonds took on Emily as a foster parent.
You'd like to think there's an owner out there that wonders where their, four-legged baby is, but if it doesn't happen, somebody's going to want this cat.
She's a cutie for sure. They'll be watching her for the next week to see how her hind legs respond. And if you think you know whose cat this is or who might have done such a thing, contact Hillsborough County Animal Services. The shooter faces felony animal cruelty charges, Kelly.
Well, glad that she's okay, Steph.